Why? So speaking of Ahmed Johnson, and me as an extra. So I was an extra for Clash of the Champions a few years ago. This is still when it was Sunday pay-per-view, Monday Raw, Tuesday SmackDown. Uh so I'm booked Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Well, Sunday was Clash of the Champions, and this is when Bischoff was back for that, 83 days.
Yeah.
He was back. And I just happened to be standing around, and he goes, "Hey, do you mind taking a picture of me real quick? In front of the Clash of Champions logo?" And I was like, "You're clever." I go, "I'll do it. But I get at least one question." And he goes, "You sure? Knock yourself out." I was like, "All right, sweet." So, like I kind of waved a couple buddies over too, right? Like, "Hey, get in on this. I'm about to, drill Eric Bischoff for some questions." So we take a couple pictures, and he goes, "Okay, I'm a man of my word. Hit me." And everybody kind of, looks around like they don't have anything. I was like, "All right, fine. Screw it. I'll do it." 1998, Ahmed Johnson gets released. At what point do you realize this guy that was super hot on the other channel is a free agent? And why wasn't he hired immediately? And he goes, "I didn't have room." I was like, "Wait, you don't have room for Ahmed Johnson? Are you kidding me?" And he goes, "At that time, I just brought Brett in, and we kind of already saw that it's not working as well as we wanted to. And I didn't know where to put him on Nitro. I didn't know where to put him on Thunder. I couldn't just put him on Saturday night. So he had name value, but I didn't know what to do with him yet. So it became a wait and see, and I just waited too long. And then they brought him in once I got fired. And I was like, dude, you brought in Ultimate Warrior and you didn't bring in Ahmed Johnson. What are we doing? This is a horrible decision. No wonder you got fired." So yeah, I had a Q&A with Eric Bischoff, and all I wanted to do was talk about Ahmed Johnson.
Worth it though. Absolutely
They're
worth it.
absolutely worth it. I
Was
could have asked them about Sting's tan or Starcade '97. Ahmed Johnson's the way.
was that your only experience ever dealing with him, or did you ever see him anywhere else at
No,
any other point?
that's I know. So when I was doing merch and stuff with TNA, was during the Hogan regime. So we would see him at TV pretty often, but he kept to himself a lot. He would come by like the merch stand to get some stuff, and he was always very nice and friendly to me. But not the most approachable of individuals, especially at that time.
Hmm.
He's become a lot more approachable since then. Since he's been doing this podcast with Conrad, I've seen him a couple places, and he's definitely a lot easier to kind of corner and badger about nonsensical, height of the Attitude Era pro wrestling questions.
Yeah, I know he's talked about saying like he's he's a lot more willing to beat himself up now, and B, he's less defensive from, I guess it's understandable to an extent too, because I can't even imagine the amount of onslaught he got from so many
Yeah.
people for so long. So he was probably spent so much time on the defensive that you're just not constantly have your fists up when anybody's around, even for
Yes.
no reason.
Yeah. And like I said, especially in that TNA run, it wasn't morale wasn't the best across the board. And we only saw him on TV days. Like the whole crew was so much more relaxed on house show days. Like that's where I got to get to like badger Kurt Angle a lot. Were the house shows, because it's just there's not as much pressure on a house show as there is TV days.
Sal, I have bad
Uh,
news for you.
oh
I did
no.
not know you did this. So you just added like another like
Oh
hour
yeah.
or 2 hours of future
Yeah.
questions, because I'm gonna need to know all about this in the future.
Yes. No. I'm a fortunate dude, man. I've experienced some stuff. It's been a wild ride.
Because I have a ton of questions, and this wasn't even included because I didn't even know about it. So
Yeah.
that's crazy.